Hey everyone, Rob here, and if you haven't heard already, it's breaking news that a volcanic eruption has started in Iceland in the Reykjanes Peninsula yet again. This is after a lot of people have been saying it's going to die out and not erupt. But of course, last night at I think it was 11 o'clock at night, somewhere around there, I was actually going to bed early. But I woke up this morning, early morning, to find out that the eruption has started. Now, the meteorological agency's experts have seen from their seismometers and GPS measurements the fissure can expand to the south towards Grindavik. And according to Miriamar Sigurdardóttir, it's a hard name, national hazard expert at the Icelandic Meteorological Office, the crack is now more than 4 kilometers long. There's a possibility that it's going to move south. Then it's towards Grindavik and then towards the sea. Who knows? The situation is obviously constantly being reassessed and calculation models are updated regularly. It says it's very clear this is a very large fissure, much larger than before, as the same type of eruption as previously. Now let's take a look at some videos that are popping out. Here we can see from Ruv a video of the first 20 minutes of the eruption. You can see it's obviously sped up. Basically, it looks like everything is kind of on fire. Now, this eruption in this crater series that erupted at 11 o'clock last night is completely different from the last eruptions on the Reykjanes Peninsula, according to volcanologist Ármann Hultsson. He says the power of this eruption is much greater than in previous eruptions, and he predicts the eruption will probably be over in a few days. Now, I believe this is the same guy who, for the very first eruption, said there's no way it's going to erupt, and then 10 minutes later it erupted. So it's kind of take that with a grain of salt. We have another video here. Let's play this. Where we can see it actually occurring from the ambient camera. You can see it's pretty amazing. He said the power, now back to Ármann, he said the power is still decent in an interview with ambient, and it's around 400 meters away from the eruption, where he obviously last night he went to check. I mean, it's part of his thing. And he said some of these sort of plumes in the air from this eruption, so here he is, Ármann, some of these are reaching a height of 70 meters already. The crack, again, 4 kilometers long, more or less everything is on fire, according to him. Something's starting to subside and is starting to form 3 areas that are starting to build up even more. He said the lava mainly flowing towards Fagradalsfjall, except at the very north where it's going northwest. The power of the eruption has apparently decreased considerably since it erupted last night, and the magma jets are much smaller than at the beginning, maybe 60 to 70 meters when they were at their most powerful. Now, he was asked if he expected, a long eruption. He said, nope, it's going to be over a week, 10 days at most. He said, it's such a powerful eruption, it'll quickly wear off. He said, it's completely different than the previous eruptions. This one's a real one, where the other ones were just kind of like a sample, or like a taste. And he said, is it possible to talk about a new chapter on the Reykjanes Peninsula? And Ármann has now said, yes, of course. Now it's going to the right place. Moving into the Alvorpen, there's the middle of the plate junction, and the big picture is, of course, that these 2 rafts are going apart. It's only natural because there's 2 huge plates. I mean, of course, the North American and the Eurasian plates, and this is kind of lying in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean from south to north. Iceland's just part of it. Now, there are some smoothing going on here and there, and of course, eruptions happen, and just happens naturally from all of this. And again, we have another volcanologist, Thorvaldur Thorason, who said, again, same thing as Ármann was saying, it's a different creature, as he said, than they've seen before in Fagradalsfjall. And the eruption is the largest that occurred on the Reykjanes Peninsula since it kind of woke up a couple of years ago, back in 2019. And he said there was 2 scenarios before this eruption started. He said, on one hand, the reduction of the influx of magma into the magma chamber and the seismic activity, everything was dying out. And on the other hand, all of this was just full steam ahead, and the crust was going to reach its tolerance limit, and the magma could break its way to the surface at a short notice, which is exactly what we saw. About 100 to 200 cubic meters of magma emerges every second from the eruption, and according to him, and the force is about 10 to 20 times greater than at the start of the Fagradalsfjall eruption in 2021. A lot more toxic gases as well. All of this can turn very quickly into sulfuric acid, and the half-life is approximately 1 day. Fog is forming quickly, which can cause contamination of built-up bubbles, says Thorvaldur. But he says the good news is that the wind direction is very favorable, so a lot of it is blowing out to sea. Here we have another picture here. Now, again, this fissure is about 4 kilometers long. Most activity seems to be around the middle of it. The north end of the crack is just east of Store Skogfell, and the southern end is just east of Sundnøk. It's very difficult Icelandic names to pronounce. Lava flows from the fissure from both the north and the east, and according to Thorvaldur, however, the lava cannot flow very far to the east as the land begins to rise not far away from where it is. It's quite likely then the lava is going to bend towards the south or towards Grindavik. Yeah, we have tons of these. Here we have another one. First 2 hours, incredible. It's really, really something else. And there are important infrastructures north of the eruption that could be in danger if this eruption continues for a long time. So, but depending on who you're asking, of course, we have Ottoman saying that's going to die out in a week, 10 days tops. And then we have other people sort of guessing maybe it's going to be a little bit longer. But time will only tell. I'm going to see if I can possibly get out there today and see how the situation is. Of course, we want to make sure that the roads are somewhat clear for people who need to evacuate the area for one reason or another, as well as, of course, we have the airport area that we want to make sure is clear. So that's the news right now. Of course, there's a lot of different live web cameras. We have the RUV here, which is looking at, we have all of these cameras. You can see here a mosaic of cameras. We have, if we just go onto YouTube here, and we can take a look, we have RUV, a lot of clicks, showcasing this. You can see just how close it is to everything. And you can see the eruption in the background here. This is again from Snillingfell, webcam number 2. So there we go. Take a look at some of those cameras. I'm going to see what I can do to get something of my own out there, perhaps. And until next time, of course, I'm going to be keeping everyone updated as much as possible. And I'm sure there's going to be more and more. So be sure to stay tuned for all the latest information on this eruption. So thanks so much.